Hey guys, welcome to the third ever episode of the BaydZone. I'm your host, Baden Redshaw, BaydZone, as you all know, and I'm here with the man that is facing CM Punk at UFC 203. How you feeling?
Doing good, my friend. Thanks for having me.
That's awesome, man. Um, well, tell me, how do you feel to be the first ever man to face CM Punk in his debut fight in the UFC?
I'm excited, man. I'm looking forward to it. It's a nice fight, you know. It's a nice fight for any MMA fighter.
Oh yeah,
So,
definitely.
looking forward to it.
Yeah. Do you feel any weight or pressure, heading into the fight with CM Punk? With him being the big superstar that he's been built up to be over the years?
Yeah, I feel some pressure. I always have, pressure on myself for, I'm going out in a cage in practically my underwear and fighting,
Yeah.
So I get nervous. I get nervous before them, but, I'm confident. And I also,
Yeah.
I feel very confident in this fight, though.
Oh, awesome.
Like I do in all mine.
Yeah. Well, tell us, how did the fight come about, Mickey?
My pro debut,
Yeah.
which was last February, I won my fight,
Yeah.
and then I got on the microphone and I asked to fight CM Punk. Dana White was at the fight, filming, looking for a fight.
Yeah.
And then I didn't know anything was going to happen with it. About a month later, I was watching the Robbie Lawler Carlos Condit fight, and I see a commercial of myself
Yeah.
in the looking for a fight. I was like, "What?" Me and my dad we paused it, we recorded, it was crazy. We did because we didn't hear anything, and then I got on social media, kind of said a couple things, and then they offered me a fight in February to fight for the shot to fight him.
All right.
Yeah.
So was that the plan beforehand, heading into that fight? Was that offer put on the table before that fight, that whoever wins this is going to fight CM Punk, or?
Yes.
Oh wow.
Yes. I actually it was said that I would, if I won, I'd get it. If I lost, they didn't say that the other guy was definitely going to get it, but I would have imagined he would have. But
Yeah.
it didn't matter anyway because I wasn't going to lose.
Yeah, definitely. Do you feel any kind of vulnerability at all, with not really knowing what CM Punk could bring in? Or do you feel like you've got the upper hand with fighting longer in an octagon than he has?
You know, not really, man. I feel very confident. I know I'm sure he's gonna have a trick or two up his sleeve, but all I can do is just bring the best version of myself to the cage that night. And that's what I'm working on doing. I'm gonna force my game on him. Hit him in the head a couple times, and then wrap the fight up.
Yeah. How long do you think the fight will go for, and what way would you like to defeat CM Punk?
What way would I like to finish it?
Yeah.
Just a stoppage, something violent and brutal. That's how I like to end all my fights. But I think it'll end in the first round, late first round. That's what I think. I think I'll drop him and either choke him or pound him out, drop some elbows on his head, something like that.
Awesome. Now here's a bit of a fun question. If you could choose any WWE wrestler that you'd like to face in the octagon after the CM Punk fight, who would it be? Who would you want to beat up the most?
Shoot, I don't know. Let me think. Trying to remember, man. I used to like WWE when I was little. I didn't like the.
It's different now, man.
Man, you know who I'd take? I'd pick The Rock.
You'd pick
I'd go
The
against
Rock.
The Rock.
You'd get him.
Hell yeah, that'd be another huge fight, man. The Rock's I'm a big fan of The Rock's now. When he was wrestling, I didn't really like him because I liked Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah.
I was a Stone Cold Steve Austin guy, but I'd fight The Rock. If The Rock wants to do that, hell yeah, I'd do that.
Awesome. At what age did you decide you wanted to be a fighter, and why?
I was 16. I grew up playing all the sports, football, baseball, basketball. I was always very good at them, and I wanted to be a football player when I was young, and then I got into MMA. I became a fan, and then I was like, this is the ultimate sport. Like all these other sports are cool, but this is like the realest sport. It's 1-on-1. It's the ultimate competition, and I was like, I think I could be good at this too. And I started doing jiu-jitsu, and I took to it right away. I boxed a little bit when I was younger.
Yeah.
But once I started jiu-jitsu, I was with the intention of being an MMA fighter at 16.
Oh, awesome. Now, what's your main goal? Where would you like to see yourself later on down the line?
UFC champion.
Cool. So that's the main goal?
Yeah. In my fighting career.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Do you have a dream opponent that you'd like to face in the future?
I couldn't hear what you said.
Do you have a dream opponent that you'd like to face in the future?
A dream opponent?
Yeah.
Nah, man. Whoever's above, whoever's got the belt. It doesn't matter who. I don't really have a. I'd like to have some nice fun wars.
Yeah.
Get some some nice fights that I can look back on and be proud of having to push through and bloodying each other up.
Yeah.
But no, not a particular opponent, not right now. Whoever's on the way to the belt.
Yeah. Now with the recent stoppage of Jon Jones versus Daniel Cormier, what was your reaction when you found out about that?
Oh man, I was sad.
Yeah.
I was looking forward to that fight. I was as a dad. I felt terrible for DC. I've had fights fall through, and I've had fights fall through like a couple hours before it's supposed to happen. That's the worst feeling, man. I like it's the worst. It's the worst. You're preparing for this. It gets you nervous, but all you want is that fight. You want it real bad. So I feel bad for DC. But as a fan, it's very disappointing because you want to see that. And I hope Jones is cool. I'd imagine it's going to be like one of those tainted supplements, which seems to be happening a lot to these guys. You got to really do your homework and research these supplements because they put like chemicals in that are banned. It's tough.
Yeah, true. Well, with that fight being cancelled, there was a lot of talk about replacements. We have seen a replacement now be announced, and that is Anderson Silva versus Daniel Cormier. But did Dana White at all reach out to you, Mickey, and say, well, I'm in a bit of a tough place here. Would you and Punk like to go on 200? Did you get that at all or no?
Absolutely not, but I would have done it. If they offer that, fuck yeah.
Yeah,
Hell yeah. That would have been awesome. I'd have been down. I'd have been, hell yeah, I'll go to Vegas today if they want me to fight tomorrow. I don't care. Hell yeah, I would do that. Hell yeah.
Yeah, because me as an MMA fan, I was sitting there thinking, okay, well, if they want to replace a big fight like that and they want to get a lot of viewers in and they want to really break records, it's going to be Punk versus Gall. Because this is CM Punk. And then, this is his debut fight. A lot of people are going to want to tune in to see that. And, I just thought that'd probably be the perfect way to do it.
Yeah, I'd have been down. Yeah. I don't think he would have done it.
Alright, what else we got here? Why do you think CM Punk is in the UFC? Do you feel this is an attempt for him to go out and do well in the UFC and then return to wrestling and do bigger things in wrestling, kind of like what Brock Lesnar did with his career? Or do you feel it's just him trying something else?
I think he's in the UFC because he has a goal. He wants to accomplish something for himself.
Yeah.
A bucket list thing or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a big moneymaker for the UFC. He's a superstar, like you said. He's going to bring a lot of eyes, a lot of pay-per-view buys. So, it makes sense from both sides. It makes sense as a business move for the UFC.
Yeah.
And it's, so yeah.
Yeah. Do you respect CM Punk at the moment, or how do you feel about him?
You cut out. The sound cut out. I see your mouth
Alright.
moving, but no sound.
Alright, can you still hear, can you hear now?
Yeah, hear you now. Hear you now.
Alright. Do you have respect for CM Punk? How do you feel about him?
Yeah, I absolutely have respect for him. He made himself a superstar in one field. Self-made guy, did his thing, I absolutely have respect for him. You don't get like to that spot by accident.
Yeah.
With that said, I'm gonna kick his ass when we fight.
What's your favorite style of fighting and why?
Favorite style of fighting?
Yeah, like what would be your favorite way to go out and do things? Would you be more of a submission artist or a knockout artist?
I'm more of a submission artist,
Yeah.
but I like knockouts too.
Yeah.
More than capable of both. So either way, like I said, as long as you're getting the job done and finishing the fight, it's cool.
Yeah.
That's what I like. Finishing the fights with violence.
Yeah. When did you have your first fight, and can you tell us about that?
My first fight was February 22nd, my senior year of college.
Yeah.
So was it like 2 years ago, something like that?
Yeah.
It was cool. I was the first fight of the night. I was fighting on the card with one of my best friends, my friend Billy D. Williams. It was cool, man. It was a good night. It was fun. It was nice to, I'd been training for a while at that point. It was nice to actually be. After that, I was like, all right, now I'm actually an MMA fighter. Like before that, I was just a guy who did jiu-jitsu tournaments and practice stuff.
Yeah.
But then once you get that fight, and then you become a real MMA fighter. So that was cool.
Yeah. Now, a lot can come from being a UFC fighter. Some fighters have had, the privilege and the opportunity to go and do some movies and some other things, and, some really cool things with promotional stuff. And, like Ronda Rousey, she's starred in a few films and whatnot. But if you ever had the opportunity to go out and do something like that, are you just wanting to be a UFC fighter, or are you wanting to kind of branch out and build up your name a lot more and do other fields, explore other fields like that?
Right now I'm into being a UFC fighter. I just want to fight. I want to, that's what I like. Who knows where I'll be, 20 years down the road. I'm gonna have to figure some shit out in 20 years because I'm 24.
Yeah.
Most 45-year-olds, there's not 45-year-olds in the UFC. So by that point, I'm gonna have to figure something out. So I will have to. I know I'll have to, explore other fields at some point. But right now, I'm happy where I'm at. I like to train all the time and go punch people in the head.
Yeah.
It's fun. Yeah.
Do you have a message that you want to send to CM Punk while you're on this show? If there's something that you had to say to him, what would you want to say?
Stay healthy. Sure, I'll see you beforehand, but see you in that cage September 10th. Just stay healthy. Get there. Get there.
Definitely. Well, we better wrap up now anyway, because I am pretty much all out of questions, and it's been amazing to have you come on the show. And everyone that is watching, please do subscribe to this YouTube channel. We've got a lot more of these interviews coming, a lot more special guests. Do you want to plug anything?
What's the name of the YouTube channel?
BaydZone at the moment, but I'm thinking of changing it over to the BaydZone.
BaydZone?
Yeah, I'm thinking of changing it over to the BaydZone, but at the moment the channel's called BaydZone. So it's BaydZ1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, cool, man. Yeah, you can find me on Mickey Gall, MickeyGall, on everything, Instagram, Twitter, whatever. Yeah, man, thanks for having me. Good job, bro.
Oh, awesome.
Nice,
Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me on the show.
Yeah, no, thank you very much. Well, guys, follow my Twitter as well at BaydRedshaw1. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. I've got a lot more coming, and it's been amazing having Mickey and having this episode. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.